Hi everyone, I'm Sarah of Rich Textures Crochet and welcome. Today we are going to learn how to make the country coasters. This is one of the country coasters right here. It's a really quick, really simple crochet pattern. It takes very little yarn, and for this project I used cotton worsted weight yarn. It takes very little of it, so it's a great project if you're looking for something to use up some of those scraps of yarn that you have lying around. They're practical coasters. They're something you use around the home. They'd also make a great gift if you're looking for a last-minute gift to make someone. So for this project you are going to need about 100 yards, about 24 yards per coaster, so about 100 yards if you're going to make 4 of them. But per coaster or per mug rug you're going to need about 24 yards of your favorite worsted weight cotton, and I'm just using one that I've pulled out of my bin of scraps here. You will also need a 4mm crochet hook. You will need a stitch marker. These are my stitch markers right here. You can use a stitch marker, a paper clip, another piece of yarn, whatever, just something to mark your place as you will be working it around. You will also need a yarn needle and a pair of scissors for finishing off your work. Now that we have all of our materials together, let's get started. Now, as we get started here, for your information, a written copy of this crochet pattern can be found for free on my blog at richtexturescrochet.com, and I will have that direct link linked for you in the notes of this video tutorial. So to begin to make the country coasters, we are going to begin by making a magic ring. Now there are various ways of making a magic ring. Today I'm just going to show you the way that I like to make them. It's a really simple kind of way to do it. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take my yarn. This is the end that's attached to my ball here, and this is the shorter end. And I simply twist it, so fold it over like that, and then kind of round it together a little bit like that. Okay, so I'll show you that again. I have the yarn end that is attached to my ball. I have my short end right here. I'm just going to twist it and then kind of bring this around. You're just making a ring, basically, just like that. And then once I've done that, I'm going to pick it up and holding them together. I'm going to insert my hook and I just pull it through a little bit. Just like that. I keep it nice and loose at this beginning stage, and then I'm going to take my working end right here and I'm just going to make a quick slip knot. Okay, so you can kind of see that there. My slip knot is up here at the top, and I have my short end down here, and then this is my magic ring. So to begin, I am going to start by working 8 half double crochets into this ring. Now the beautiful thing about this ring is that you can make it smaller just by pulling it, just like that, and it just brings it in a little bit closer. Okay, so I'm going to make 8 half double crochet stitches into the center of this big ring. I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to insert my hook through the center of the ring, and I'm going to drop my loop, and then I'm just going to complete my half double crochet. And you can see my magic ring is still fairly large here. As I get more stitches into the center of my ring, I will tighten it a little bit more. So that's my first half double crochet. I'm going to make 8, a total of 8. So I'm going to make 7 more. Yarn over, insert my hook into the center of that ring, yarn over, pull through, and then complete my stitch. That's number 2. I'm going to make 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So now I have a total of 8 half double crochets in my ring. I'm going to go to my short end here, and I'm just going to gently pull it. And as I pull it, you can see that my ring is getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and it is now going to bring my stitches in close together, just like that. And I'm going to pull that ring as tight as I can get it, because I don't want there to be much of a space left in the middle of that loop. Now this magic ring you can use for almost any pattern that requires a tight kind of start like this when you're working in the round. Okay, so I've now worked my 8 half double crochets in my round. I am not going to join. In this pattern you will not join or turn your work unless stated otherwise. So I've made 8 half double crochets. For round 2, I'm going to work in the 3rd loop of this half double crochet. I'm going to keep going in the same direction, and I'm going to work in the 3rd loop. To find the 3rd loop, I'm going to turn to the back of my work. And if you look at the back of your work, I'll use my yarn needle to point it out. You can see these, you have your top horizontal bar that you would normally work in. And then I'll bring it in closer. So there's the top horizontal bar. And then on the back, you have these other horizontal bars right below it. This is called the 3rd loop. And each half double crochet stitch has one. So these are the loops that I'm going to be working in. So if I pick up my working yarn, I'm going to take my hook, I'm going to flip it over and see this horizontal loop right here, right under. So this is the one that I would normally work in, this V stitch. Turn it over, this horizontal bar right here. I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to insert my hook under that bar, and I'm going to pull up a loop and then complete my half double crochet. So what I want to do is in each of my first round half double crochets, I want to work 2 half double crochets. So I'll work 2 HDC in the 3rd loop of each stitch. So that was 1, and then that was 2. Now my instructions also tell me to mark the first stitch. So before I go any further, this is my first stitch here, I'm just going to insert my stitch marker, and that way you will always know when you come back around to the beginning. So work 2 HDC in each stitch in the 3rd loop all the way around. So that was 1, 2, you will have a total of 16 stitches. 3, 4, 5, 6, and you can see I'm always looking for this loop in the very, very back. I'm going to work with the fluff. 2 in each stitch all the way around until I hit my stitch marker once again. And you will have a total of 16 half double crochet stitches. This is the last one before my stitch marker. And a total. And you can see as you're working in the 3rd loop that it's pushing the top of your stitch forward. That's making this almost knit look, this little ridge around the front. And that's what's going to give your little bit of texture. Okay, so that's round 2. Round 3, continue working in the 3rd loop, and you're going to half double crochet in the next stitch and 2 half double crochet in the next stitch. So you're going to repeat that pattern. I'm going to remove my stitch marker for 1 sec. I'm going to yarn over in the 3rd loop, do my 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, mark that stitch, and then 2 half double crochets in the next. So there will always be a 1-2 pattern for this round. So 1, 2, I'm going to repeat 1 half double crochet and then 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. 1 half double crochet and 2 half double crochets. At the end of this round, you will have a total of 24 stitches. One and then 2 all the way around, and with your stitch marker in place there, there's very little counting needed. As long as you're getting the right pattern down, you're just working back around until your stitch marker. So 1, 2, 1, 2 all the way around. Then row 4, you remember you do not join and you do not turn. So round 4, continue working in the 3rd loop, and you're going to HDC in each of the next 2 stitches and then 2 HDC in the next. So the pattern is now going to be 1 in each of the next 2 stitches and then 2. 1 in each of the next 2 and then 2. So I'm going to remove my stitch marker for 1 sec. This is my first stitch. 1, 2, and then 2 in the next. 1 HDC in each of the next 2 stitches, and then 2 in the next. So you're going to repeat this again all the way around for a total of 32 stitches. 1, 2, and then 2. Always working in that 3rd loop. And once you get started, it might be tricky for you to find the 3rd loop on the first few stitches, but after you get started, it kind of shows itself to you because all of the top loops are pushed forward. There's 1, 2, and then 2 in the next. Two. This is my last repeat. 1, 2, and then 2 in the last stitch. So you will have a total of 32 stitches. Round 5, you will continue working in the 3rd loop, and you're going to HDC in each of the next 3 stitches and 2 HDC in the next stitch, and you're going to repeat that around. So remove my stitch marker. It's my first one. So 1 HDC in each of the next 3 stitches. There's 2 and there's 3, and then 2 HDC in the next, and repeat. So 1 in each of the next 3, and then 2. each of the next 3, and then 2. At the end of this round, you will have a total of 40 half double crochet stitches. You can see that this is a fairly quick pattern to make up. So it's great for a last minute gift or yourself, or maybe for a craft fair if you're looking for something. Three, and then this is my last 2, and you will have a total of 40 half double crochet stitches. So if you take a moment and look back at your work, you can see this spiral is forming. It may curl in a little bit, but don't worry about that too much right now. If it is curling in a lot and you believe it will be irredeemable, go up maybe half a hook size, so to 4.5 or 5.0 hook. Otherwise, if it's curling up just a little bit like mine is as you're working, don't worry about it yet. At the very end, when we put our edging around it, you will see that it will really flatten it out and really even the stitches off. Okay, so that was round 5. For round 6, you may have guessed by now, we're going to work 1 half double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches, and then 2 in the next. And we're going to repeat that sequence all the way around. So 1 half double crochet in my first stitch, and then I'm going to be sure to mark it, and then 3 more, and then 2. So half double crochet in each of the next 4, and then 2. At the end of this round, you will have 48 stitches. One in each of the next 4, and then 2 in the next stitch. And then 2 in my last. Okay, so for a total of 48 stitches. Now for your final round 7, you will continue working in the 3rd loop, and you will half double crochet in each of the next 5 stitches, and then 2 half double crochet in the next. So this is my first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 in the next. At the end of this round, you will have a total of 56 half double crochet stitches. I'll let you continue around and meet me back here when you're ready. Okay, so I've now reached my last 2 stitches there on my 7th round. So I have a total of 56 half double crochet stitches, and I'm back here at my beginning. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove my stitch marker, and I am going to join, and I'm going to just join the normal way you would under the top 2 loops with a slip stitch in that first stitch. So I've just done a quick join, ended my round in that first half double crochet. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to work 1 reverse single crochet stitch in each stitch around. Now normally, if you're right-handed, you will work from right to left. When you work a reverse single crochet stitch, you will work from left to right. You're not going to turn your work, so I've left my work, my right side is still facing, and I'm simply going to take my hook and I'm going to insert it in the stitch. I'm going to skip that first one, and I'm going to insert my hook in the next stitch behind it, front to back. I'm working through both loops now. Insert my hook. I'm going to grab a hold of my yarn and I'm going to pull it through as you would a normal single crochet, and then I'm going to complete my single crochet stitch. That is a reverse single crochet. I'm going to do the next one. I'm going to do 1 reverse single crochet stitch in each stitch around. So I'm going to pull my hook back, insert my hook under both loops, grab a hold of my yarn and pull through, and then complete my stitch. And that's my second reverse single crochet. And I'm going to continue around. So next stitch, insert my hook under both loops, yarn over, pull through, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops on my hook. Insert my hook under both loops, you can see there, grab my yarn, pull through, pulling up a loop, there's 2 loops on my hook there, yarn over, and pull through. And you can see what this is doing is it's creating this corded edge around my coaster. Insert your hook in the next stitch, drop a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. This is your reverse single crochet stitch, or your RSC. And you're going to do this all the way around. It just adds kind of a nice, kind of fun, textured edging to it, and it's a little bit thicker, so it gives it a little bit more weight as well. Next stitch, insert my hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through. All the way around. So you will have a total of 56 reverse single crochet stitches. You want to try and keep your tension even so that you don't have loose threads coming up here and there, and you want sort of that corded look also to be fairly even in its tension. Working this all the way around. And you can also see that where my coaster was once kind of curled up, it's really kind of flattening it out now. Just kind of stretching those stitches out just enough. And about halfway through. I'm going to knot my yarn over here. Almost there. So now I'm coming up on the start of my round. And once I get back to that first one, I'm going to also reverse single crochet in it. Okay. Then I'm going to join with a slip stitch in the first, in the first stitch. To do that, I do like to turn it, and then I'm just going to simply join with a slip stitch, pull my yarn through, pull it tight. And there you have it. That is your simple country coaster. And I like how it kind of looks like tree rings, like a tree stump. Here it kind of gives it a little extra character. If you would like, an optional option is to cut out a circle of felt that's just slightly smaller than your coaster and just either glue it or sew it onto the back. I'll give it a little bit more, make it a little bit more sturdy there for you if you'd like. But I find out of the worsted weight cotton, it's pretty good. So that's it. Thank you so much for joining me for this tutorial for the country coasters. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I like to bring you crochet patterns and stitch tutorials weekly. So if you subscribe, you'll be sure to receive the updates of when those are available. Also check out my blog at richtexturescrochet.com, where you will find the free written pattern for these country coasters. Thank you so much. Happy crocheting. Bye.